Good morning. Today we are going to run power to my shop. This is a problem that I've been dealing with a lot here lately. Anytime I need to work on anything, I need to run an extension cord to my shop or bring the stuff out of my shop to the house. So it's just been a pain. We're gonna do that today. We're gonna put a sub panel on it somewhere on this side over here. You can see where the people we bought the house from, they ran, looks like an extension cord in some Schedule 40 PVC, and then just shoved looks like maybe a 1/2 inch EMT into that, PVC coupling, and then somehow it turns into Romex, direct burial Romex, and I don't know where it goes. It goes underground and somehow ends up in the shop. So we're gonna do it with, I think my buddy had some number 6 left over from a job. It was something pretty substantial. So we're gonna do a sub panel with some number 6. It's about 150 feet to the other side of the house over there. I'll go give you a quick rundown on that real quick. All right, I just came from over there. Here's where the power comes in from the power lines. Again, extension cord buried. Don't know where it goes. Haven't really wanted to dig it up just yet. Got a decent idea, but but no Romex over here like what was going to the shop. So you can see our power comes in here, and we have the transfer switch for the generator, and that's what this is. That goes to the generator over there, but really the main power goes in that way, out into the feeder, and then into the main panel, and then it goes into the other main panel, which is the actual main for our house. This thing's kind of bent up. It's hard to open with one hand. So I'm thinking that buried extension cord went to maybe one of the 2 RVs there, maybe the sewing, I don't know, or welding. No telling. And then look, you can see where shed was. I don't know. Our well is really the only thing in this panel right here that, if it wasn't for that well, I would say just get rid of this whole panel. But the well's it's on a 10 amp 2-pole breaker. Not sure about why. I'm gonna ask an electrician buddy about that later. But anyways, it's a 10 amp. One hot wire goes to this plug, and the other hot wire goes down here and feeds our well pump. So I'm gonna put a 100 amp feeder breaker in this, and then that's where we're gonna run our conduit. We're gonna dig a trench. I may bust out that concrete, or think I'll probably just be lazy, come just a little bit outside the concrete and shoot over in the backyard. And at least it'll be better than what was there. You can see the extension cord here. This is how we're having to run our pool pump. So we're eventually probably going to redo how this is fed, but take that outlet. I got one to replace it, but we'll run a GFCI outlet all the way out there, and that way we're not running that pump on an extension cord too. I don't know if we'll do that in this video or not. Here's a prime example of all the tools end up on the porch. Charging batteries is, I don't know, something I just would rather not do with an extension cord, and I just don't want to leave them out in the weather. So that ends up happening there. There's an extension cord running out to the golf cart that I'm also working on. Everything out here seems to be a project. This is where I was working on the new sub panel. See what I come up with here. Basically 30 amp, maybe that'll become 40 amp for a welding machine, or some kind of a 220 outlet. 15 amp for lights, 20 amp for, you know, if I'm running power tools and stuff for some plugs. And I got another 20 amp because one day, and we're not gonna do this today for sure, one day we want to run power out to the this little, we call it a pergola, but it's just kind of a little outdoor hangout spot. Needs a lot of love, but you know, when it's fall or when it's comfortable, we'll plug in those lights on it, and it's nice to grill and hang out and eat out there. But again, you got to run an extension cord to it for that, so it would just be nice in the future to have permanent power there on a GFCI circuit. So I'll take you into the barn and show you what's going on in there. Instead of using Schedule 80 PVC, we're using Schedule 40 to save a little bit of money. We are going to bury it, but right now we're just running each joint of pipe down the wire instead of pulling the wire through all of the pipe at the same time. Makes it a little easier. Where we come up out of the ground, we'll use Schedule 80 there. So if it gets hit with a lawnmower or a weed eater, it can kind of take a little more damage.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got the electrical sub panel line buried, and it comes to my shed. We mounted it right here. I just ran the the line feeding the outlets and the lights right now. I just tied into what's existing, and the way that it was ran is in this ENT that's like rusty and sharp and falling apart. So right now, just until I get some fittings and figure out a better permanent solution, I just ran it kind of over the wall right there. And you come in the door here, and again, I'm tying into what's existing. So there's this like Christmas tree foot switch that controls everything, controls the lights. All the outlets work permanently. So yeah, so now I have two lights. They're dim. I'll replace them eventually, but it's light, so I'll take it. All right, so we ran through the backyard, just barely inside the gates. Came around this concrete and turned. I still need to rake some dirt in right here. But you can see we found like some, I think that's 2-gauge wire. 2 of them aground, and then like, looks like some 12 or 14-gauge Romex. And this extension cord that we've known has been here. So there's all kinds of stuff. None of it was hot, but it was cut off when we found it. So, and then we came up into the panel on this 2-inch right here, and then we actually did a little extra. This white pipe was already here. That's what feeds our well. We ran another direct burial line in it, and we kind of ran over just past the well house, and then up and into Mallory's shed. and then kind of through the rafters, and then back down out the other side. I still need to bury that a little bit, but you can see it's got conduit until it gets under the ground, and it's shallow, but it's fine. It's direct burial Romex, and then it's feeding our pool pump. So something else we finished up was this railing here where we replaced the siding. We got that knocked out, and we found the boat that y'all saw earlier today. It's down there. We had one hole in the hull of the boat. Getting her ready for her maiden voyage.
Do you have a paddle?
You got a shovel.
A shovel. Are y'all both getting in?
No, you drop one.
It's a one-man job.
Oh my gosh. Dad, I hope you don't have your phone on you.
I know.
Wow.
I feel good about it. Throw me the whole rope. I'm gonna do a little depth test.
Well, fixing fences and cleaning up logs and killing wasps and snakes and all the stuff that we've had to do. Maybe not so much of the house remodel, but that's our homestead journey. We try to save money where we can. We're not just picking it off of trees out here. So I'm pretty handy. Mallory's willing to do things. So if we can fix something on our own, we tend to do that. So we're a little slower, and we don't have a pasture full of animals as quickly as we would have wanted to last year, but we're still committed to doing that. So if you want to stay tuned, make sure to subscribe. You may see some more homestead improvement type videos, more so than actually us homesteading, but it's coming, and we're committed to doing that. We want to have a freezer full of meat this winter, and you know, have maybe even a bigger garden next year, but it's just a slow process for us, and we're still new and dipping our toes into it in some ways. So, but make sure to stay tuned and stick around, because there's going to be more coming.